Computer. So this is now being recorded. And without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to our hostesses with the mostesses, Catherine and Mila. If you're not speaking, I do invite you to mute yourself so that we get good sound. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks. So Mila, do you want to start us off?
I'm not sure what you guys want to learn. I was thinking about this today, and there's so many aspects that you might want to ask questions, and then either I or Catherine can answer them. Maybe I'll start though with something that's really been working for me is I've already done 12 major podcasts, and one with Lori over here, which is one of my favorites. And then I also am doing like 8 more now this month already. And I've been really reaching out to podcast people. So once you have your book, or even if you're just an expert, you don't have to have a book at all. There's these places on Facebook, and one of them is called Podcast Find a Guest, Be a Guest. And you have to like hashtag if you're going to be a guest or find a guest. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are, I'm going to find a guest, I'm going to be a guest. And so I went on there, and tons of people got interested in my book. But then what I really found out, this is going to help you with your writing, and Lori, what you're writing about is what they're looking for, is that they didn't want just, well, some people did. I did one with a woman from England that was a historian, so she loved my book about my suffragette grandmother. But I found out that if I just tried to do the book about my grandmother, that's not what people want. I think I've mentioned this before. What they want are self-help books. That's what they want. They want, like, are you going to help us homeschool? Are you going to help us get through like breakups? Are you going to help me, empower me, especially empowerment? And I got this clue before. I think I told you there was another woman, and Jane was there. Jane was had Sarah. Remember Jane? Sarah came to speak, and I had a session with her, and she told me she couldn't take my book back east to give to people in New York because it wasn't a self-help book. And she gave me that clue. That's the first clue. And at that point, I'm still writing my book and going, oh no, but my book's really important, and this and that and the other thing. And so what I found out that was, as soon as I started saying I grew up with problems, and my grandmother grew up with problems, terrible situations, and we came out of it to be highly successful women. That's when they go, oh yeah, we want you on our show. I was just on a woman, and her show's called Badass Women something, I can't remember, but anyway, and she was wonderful, and so I felt, as soon as I started talking about my own problems, that's when people wanted me. So I just want to give you that hint that if you're thinking about some self-help books or anything, if it's just like a novel, there's some places, but most of them want you to have problems. So, we all have some problems, or we know someone who did. So if we start with those and we end up like we're highly successful now, that's exactly what is selling right now. And that woman who helped me, Jane's friend Sarah, was right that I was in kind of the wrong job, So anyway, and so now what they usually do, and this is another hint about podcasts, I thought when they podcast, you're on right away, like that minute. Well, most of them, they actually take it back and edit it, and you come on months later. Mm-hmm. So a lot of my podcasts that I already did, like one in India and all these ones, they haven't broadcast yet. So I had to get used to that. And then half of them, well, 2/3 of them are video and sound. 1/3 maybe is they call me on the telephone. I've only had 2 like that, and then they're only going to put my voice on. Mm-hmm. I've had 3 anyway, but the rest of them are, so I have to put on my little makeup, and I put on my shirt, and I got that ring light I told you guys about, the 6-inch light, and I have a new mic. I have a Yeti, but I'm still learning to use it. It works half the time and doesn't, because I'm not very proficient at it. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a hint that if you're thinking about self-help books, spiritual books, anything like that, you're going to be much more popular. And all my speaking engagements failed. I was going to do a speaking tour in Washington, D.C. and the East Coast. And of course, with COVID, I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't even go to our local ones that were set up. Right. And I had a huge speaking thing going. And so what I found out, though, is I'm getting more people listening on the podcast than I might have gotten locally, or, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to give you the big hint that you could start your podcast now. You don't have to write a book, but podcasts are where it's at if you're an expert in what you're doing. So that's the one thing I really wanted to share with everyone that I've been going through. I've got about 9 more this month to do. So it's
You
really
have
fun.
you have to email us when the podcasts go up so that we can.
Yeah. Should I mean, how many do you want? I've already done quite a few. I'll send you a few.
And this
I think I sent you Lori's, right? And that was really good.
Bruce asked a question in the chat. Did the podcast host require a signed IP agreement?
No. There's
Not
no
usually,
agreement.
no.
But what they do, most of them have you do is sign up, and some do pre-interviews, and so they want to make sure you can speak, for one thing. And then well, you know my little one I think I sent you all, that is my grandmother and I'm talking. It's a 5-minute video. Well, I send that out, and then they're like, wow, we really like that. For some reason, I made that in a class, and I guess everyone really, it was good enough. And so now people are using that. And then another woman taught me to make a media sheet. So I should send it to you. It's really beautiful media sheet. Yeah, I'll send you some stuff. It's good. And then, but anyway, that's where I did a lot of Medium. We're making a lot of memes right now. I have someone helping me make meme after meme of me and my grandmother. My grandmother, her and Gloria Steinem was on my Facebook site today. So that's the kind of advertising you want to like start setting up right now, you know, for even if you're going to write a book in 2 years, you know.
Cool.
Very cool. Well, let's put podcasts. I know there's a couple more questions in the chat, but let's put that aside till the end, and let's really dive into the self-publishing stuff.
Okay.
I think that's going to be so.
So yeah, I volunteered to help you guys with and walk you through how to do and use Amazon KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing. It's not Kindle just ebooks, so it's also your hardback books, or as I call it, hardback. Nobody does hardback. You know, your hard copy is a better word. Sorry. And so if Rachel can give me her screen share privileges, I will walk you guys through all of this, and I'll show you some examples so you can really see what's happening, because it can get a little overwhelming with Kindle. And they can also, just a heads up, it can be frustrating because you're not dealing with human beings for the most part. You only deal with a human being on this process when you really, really, really have a problem. Usually it's just bots kicking things back at you. So the trick is to realize you're not dealing with humans, you're dealing with bots, and you just keep at it. So I'll talk a little bit more about some of my experiences with that, where you just have to, you just keep doing it. It's not simple, but it's not easy, but it can be simple. So let's put it that way. So I will share my screen. Let's see if I got that. There we go.
Yay.
And let me do advanced so you can, there we go. Yay. And I'm gonna see if I can do advanced share. So I just show you my screen and you're not distracted. There you go. Okay, so can you guys see that? There we go. So are we good? You guys can see that? You can see the Kindle Direct Publishing? All right. So, so I learned something from teaching all those classes at Holly. So you're going to Kindle Direct Publishing. Let me show you what those, what the IP looks like. It says KDP, Amazon.com. You're in the US, and it's called the Bookshelf. And then I've got my reference number for my own books. So it's not, if you go to Amazon and then try to go to your bookshelf, your KDP bookshelf from your Amazon account, it will not work. So you have to go to the bookshelf. Once you get in here, what I would recommend is bookmark it so that eventually what I do is I just type in book in Google and this is what comes up. So I'm super lazy about that. You also, you know, hack, save the URL, right? What? So Here's another little trick. If you are doing this for more than one person, so I have done this for clients, and if I am not in my client's Amazon account, I cannot access his Kindle account. So if you're doing dual, if you've got a bunch of accounts you're managing for other people, and you go into Kindle Direct and it's just you, it's not them, that's why you have to go out of all of your Amazon accounts, go in as your client, and then go into Kindle Direct Publishing. Obviously, when my clients hand me their credit cards, their Kindle access, everything, there's a lot of trust. So something else to remember. So let's say you want to do your very, very first book. So you go in and then I'm going to get back to up here where it says Bookshelf Reports, Community and Marketing. But let's get your book published first. So you open it up and here you are. You want to create a new title. You can do and start with either a Kindle book, in which case, when you're all done doing the Kindle book, they'll ask you if you want to do a hard copy book or paperback, or you can do paperback. Once you're all done with that, it'll say you want to do a Kindle book. You're going to do both. I would recommend both, and I'll tell you why for a number of reasons. But what I usually do whatever is expedient. Kindle is usually more expedient than your paperback book. So we'll start with a Kindle book. The process is different than a paperback book. So I'm going to give you both. And I have some, and then I've also run some promotions so I can show you what those look like as well. Because I know we discussed that. Like, how do you do a promotion? Promotions are easy once you get the silly book done. So we'll start with After I'm Buried Alive, because that's what I talked about at our last session. But during COVID, I did a bunch of other books. Just like Mila was saying, I found things that people needed. I have the How to Journal workbook. That was a process to get set up with my paperback. How to Journal, the regular book that's based on my classes. And then I did a hybrid poetry collection that was poems and video. So that's what I did while I was sitting around doing nothing and not traveling, which makes me crazy. So let's talk about how you would do the Kindle book. So I think I can just click, let me just click on it. Let me create. Let me come down here. I'm going to do create Kindle. So this is the paperback version, $13.99. So let's go through and create the Kindle book so you can see what you do. Okay, so you do your Kindle book. You are going to choose things like what language are you in? You put your book title, put your subtitle in. Subtitles are very important. I know that Mila's talked about this too. You probably are aware subtitles are very important in the Amazon world because it gives you additional CSO words. It gives you an additional chance to get found. So if somebody's not going to write up my title, but they might write up senior adventure. They might write in romance books, cozy romances, that's where our categories are going to come in. But it gives you a chance in a very short amount of time to explain what your book is. So if you were going to do a how-to book, you would use the words how-to, and then name something that's relevant to your book. Don't name something crazy because that's false advertising and people will totally ding you for that. But how to get better at blah, blah, blah. How to write a book and succeed. That would be something Mila could write about. How to overcome adversity. That would totally work for what Mila's historical novel is all about, right? So you're not amplifying things. You're not saying anything that's not in the book, but you are allowing yourself to be found. So you definitely want to put that optional subtitle in. If you have a series name and number, that helps. I know that in various promotions, like some of you probably belong to BookBub because there's nothing like getting a constant heroine feed into your email every day that has to do with cheap books. So I want to know the book that sometimes the books that are promoted are not the first book in a series. So I like to know that. Otherwise you're reading book 12 out of a 17 book series and you're like, oh, yeah. how did they get together? I don't understand. Edition number, you can put that in or not. Obviously, you're going to put your author in. If you have contributors, you put your contributor in. Now, description. You've got a lot of room to write in your description. Your description can be what you put on traditionally on the back of a paperback book, or you can add to it and put different descriptions. Sometimes I put a description in that is different than what's on the back of my paperback book, that's different from my description of my Kindle book. So I cover more language and I capture people. So you're going to put your description in. Here's what I would recommend. When you start writing in all of this information, have it separately on in another place. So you can put it in your notes, put it in, just make a sheet from Word, because if this blows up on you, you don't want to have to try to recreate it out of your head, and it will blow up on you. So write it down. And you can also do a quick spell check if you don't have Grammarly like embedded into your systems, and then drop it in. So that's what I do. And that way, if something does happen, you just go back in and cut and paste it, right? It's not a big deal. And I love helping people not make things a big deal. You own the copyright. So let me scroll down. So I own the copyright, okay? It's not a public domain. Now you're gonna do keywords. So use all your keywords. You may want to go in and get information from Amazon. What kind of keyword should I use? What you may want to do is and you probably already have done this before you start publishing your book, go into Amazon, look at every book that is like yours. What categories do they use? What keywords do they use? So that you're not competing in this sense. What you're doing is you're saying, here are these novels that are very similar to my novel. Here are these self-help books that are very similar to my self-help book. I want to show up when someone is looking for these. And so that's what your keywords are going to help you do. So I put in, adventure, romance, fun adventure. It's going to go under cozy mystery, so I don't need to put that in the keywords. So think of just random words. How would you look for something if you were going to look for your book? Another tip, let's say you've published your book for a few months or maybe 4 or 5 months and you're not getting a lot of traction. You can go in here and change everything. This is nothing that you do through Kindle, through Amazon is immutable. It's not like dealing with a traditional publisher. So if you are saying, oh, you know what? There's a trend now and I'm part of this trend, and the trend is, sexy over 60, and I'm going to take advantage of that because my book falls into that category. Go back and redo it. You can redo your categories. You can redo your keywords. You can redo everything. The only thing you cannot redo is the cover of the book. So that's solid. And the title of the book. But you can monitor what's going on with your book, and then you can manage it differently. So if like for Amelia, if she sees a trend coming, she can go back in and recategorize things so that the book shows up in a different way. Kind of nice. Now, choose up to 2 categories. You only have 2 categories to choose from. That's not bad. I started with action adventure, and then mystery and detective, and with the subcategory cozy. Let me show you what the categories look like. So fiction, nonfiction, juvenile, et cetera, non-classifiable. I don't recommend non-classifiable because people don't look for non-classifiable. It's kind of like getting undeclared as a bachelor. Although I have friends who tried. So fiction, okay? I had, if you hit general, see, I selected more than 2 categories, so they're not going to let me mess with this. But you can see that there is a lot of options. Here is another suggestion. If you can drill down your categories as much as you can, it is easier to be a, quote, bestseller in your category. So the more specific you can be, the better chance you have of rising to the top in that category. And it could be for 45 minutes, knowing the, the way that the internet works. But if you're the bestseller for 45 minutes, you can own that. So the more drilled down you can be, the better. Then if you have an age range, I don't. But if you're releasing a children's book, you need to do that. And you can also do pre-orders. So you can create a pre-order system that's going to link to your promotion. It's going to link to your sales pages, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Absolutely, people love pre-orders because they get a running start when they release their book. It's like, whoa, it was an instant bestseller. That's how you do it. I just flip and release my book. So I'm super lazy and did not do a pre-order thing. It was COVID, what can I say? So I'm ready to release my book. Then you hit, yes, I am awesome. Let's continue. I might not hit the final. Okay. Got an expect error. No. Okay. So you set that up. Let me see if I can get. All right, I'm going to go back and see if I can show you what a cover is. So when you, let's do Kindle setup. In other words, you got to keep doing it. Let's see if I can show you. If I can't show you, then I can't show you. All right. So the next thing, okay, check this out. See the red? All they'll tell you is fix the highlighted areas. And they're not going to really tell you why you got messed up and you didn't do it right. So you have to go back and figure it out. So that's one of the bad things. So when your next steps are to upload your cover, and you will have an option when you upload your cover, they'll send you a template. It'll be a PDF. You say, yes, I would like the PDF template. And then you take your covers that you've created, the front and the back that you've created, usually on Canva. Canva has got a book cover template now for you. And you're going to move that into the PDF, get it all lined up according to how many pages. You need to know the page count of your book and line it all up and then create it. That's for your paperback book. For your Kindle, all you need is a JPEG of your cover. And then that will take care of it. When you upload your actual book, for both, you can upload them as PDFs. And what I have discovered recently is that that's your best bet, because PDF will hold the all the formatting that you did. So when you upload the hard copy book, the paperback book, it'll keep the headers that you created and your page numbers and your gutters and your your right left side. So your odd pages is where you want to start everything, and your even pages can be blank. All of that is held with your PDF. Little trick: if you subscribe to Adobe for $14.99 a month, you have editing. You can edit your Adobe files so that you can go in and actually manipulate your Adobe files. It's clunky, but you can do it. And that can help if you find it's like, oh my gosh, that wasn't right. You can fix something right on that Adobe file and then upload it again. Does that make sense? With your Kindle uploads, you're going to do it through Adobe. You're going to strip out the headers. You're going to strip out the numbers. Your page numbers. And if you do a table of contents, you're not going to do page numbers with the table of contents. And in fact, I don't really understand why a lot of Kindle books still have table of contents, because all it says is chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. I'm like, that's so not helpful. I don't even know why we're doing this. So I tend not to do a TOC when I do a Kindle book. So do you have any questions so far, you guys?
I was hoping you could show us how to, because I'm just getting ready to do a promotion.
That's what I'm going to do next. Thank you. That was a nice segue. You're awesome. I didn't even talk to you ahead of time. Yay. Let me show that that's live. Okay, good. So let's say you would like to promote your book. It's a thought. So you go back into your book, you go into your bookshelf, la, 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 la. And if you see over here, let's do, I'll show you that later. So let's say I want to do my journal book, how to journal. I've got the Kindle book and the live book. The live book gives me an author copy option. Author copies are at cost, so you absolutely can buy your books at cost. Your books are going to cost anywhere from $4 to $5. Here's something. This book, my poetry collection, has color photos in them, and the cost was only like $5. So the cost for color has decreased quite a bit, and that's good news for people who want to do children's books or you want to do colored illustrations. Much less expensive than even 3 years ago when we started.
When I was doing my book, we only had a few color pages, and it was $35 to do the book.
Right.
That was about 6 months ago.
Yeah, and so this one this is 100 pages. Here, I'll just click on order author copy so you can see. Let me see. Let me do one, submit order. Let me see if it'll give me the price. Oh, I have to do a markup. Okay. Sorry, they want to know what numbers to use. $4.91, and that's
how come I got docked $35 for 3 pages with like just a pink wash?
I have no idea. I have no clue at all. I did it on a PDF, which helps because it's all embedded. But I have a color photo on every page in this book.
That is so good to know. That's
yeah,
great.
Right? It was not,
yeah.
It doesn't have to be super crazy.
Okay.
So let me go back to me.
Yeah, the thing I want to do is buy an ad because I've already done the promo, but I want to buy an ad.
Okay, there's that option too. I was just looking at that. So we'll talk about that. So let's go through promotion first, and then Goodreads, which is connected to Amazon, and then you've got Amazon ads. So just so you guys know, when we open up our Kindles and there's an ad in the front for another book, you can buy those. It starts at $100, and I don't know what the reach is yet, and I don't know what the numbers are per click, et cetera, et cetera. So I just noticed that when I was researching for this class. So let's say I want to go to the Kindle book, and the Kindle book is what you're going to use for your promos because you're not shipping books. Don't ship books. That's why we have Kindle books. So we have ebooks. So you go over here and there's promote and advertise. Oh, look, they want to be so helpful. They would love to take more of your money. So that's the thing about Amazon. They're there for you to take your money. So he says, promote your book on Amazon, right? So here's something that is not interesting. It just is. You get, when you, I do KDP Select, and the reason I do that is so I can do these promotions through Amazon. If you do not do KDP Select, you do not have access to this. And the reason that you wouldn't do KDP Select is because you want your book on Nook, you want your book on Smashwords, you want your book on a number of other platforms. If you stay within the Evil Empire, you are then allowed to do more maneuvering with your book. Right now, I usually suggest to my clients to go ahead and stick with KDP Select because it's a one-stop shop for you. And as you get more sophisticated, I say, yay, go manage this all over the place. I do not have the bandwidth for it, so I tend to just go with them. Just go with Amazon. Just like I have to have AT&T as my carrier. I have a lot of choices. You get to run a promotion once every 3 months. So it's once a quarter. And you will get, as soon as you start, you don't control it. It starts with when you publish your book, and then it rolls over. So in this case, I have, and you need to look, I've got from June until September. So if I run a promotion in August, I can do that. I can't do another one back to back. I have to wait until September 17th. It locks me out, and I have to wait to come back and do my promotions. So down here, it says I can do a Kindle Countdown deal, or I can do a free book promotion. I can't do, it says this book is currently ineligible for Countdown and ineligible for a free book deal because I've done one already. So they're they keep track for you, is a way of looking at it. It's also, it's like they're on you, right? So let me see if I can, I'm going to go back and find one so you can see what it looks like, okay? Because I can't do one. Let me do. I'm doing a promo right now. Let me see if it'll show it. I'm doing a Kindle Countdown right now, or I'm doing 2 days. Okay. So I hit Kindle Countdown, and I'm doing one with this book as we speak. Is it? No, I'm not. I'm doing it starting the 8th. See, promotion already scheduled. So I can't go in and mess around. Let's try the UK though, just so I can show you. So you can do a Kindle Countdown for 7 days. You want to know what days you're doing, because the reason you're doing a countdown is to promote your book in other venues. So this is where your book, your Book Gorilla comes in, or I use Fussy Librarian. We talked about that before. I get good results with that. You want to, maybe you're doing a promotion through your newsletter. Maybe you're doing a promotion because you're speaking and you want to say, hey, my book is 99 cents or it's free. You have 2 choices, free or Countdown. And come onto my site and you can get the book for a discount, which is really nice to do. So choose your dates wisely. So you want to be able to maximize them. I also, if you have a deal that can run for up to 7 days, divide and conquer. Do your deals either, do your deals like 3 days and 4 days. You don't need to do them on all 7 days, because there's a severe drop off, and I'll show you that, between day 1 of an offer and the rest of the time. It's like you do 1,000 the first day and 22 the second day. It's that dramatic. So you want to maximize your promotion times. So do that. Do a couple if you can get away, if Kindle again lets you get away with it. So let's say you start August 8th, you do your end time, you do number of price increments. You can do a countdown for one. Let me do an end time so that they don't, oh, doesn't matter. So you can do a series countdown. So it starts with 99 cents the first day, $1.99 the second day, $2.99 the third day, and the fourth day would be like your ending date. Mine is on sale for, mine is sold for $3.99. Okay, so you can run it up to the top, or you can do one price at 99 cents, which is what most people do, for the entire time that you do your sale. Okay, so then you continue, and they won't let me continue, but that's okay. That's essentially what you're going to do with your countdown. When you do a countdown, you want to go, there you go. So this is what happened when I did my July countdown for my journaling book, and I just used Fussy Librarian and my own email list. So I just did my newsletter and Fussy Librarian. Newsletter is great because it goes to people who already care, and Fussy Librarian is great because it goes to people I have no idea about. So it's a combination.
I have a question about Fussy Librarian. I missed the timing on it. What's the timing like you have to do so far in advance to get into Fussy Librarian?
I had some glitches, and I just set it up today for tomorrow.
You did that
so it
quick?
It depends on space. It depends on if they have space.
And you still get the response?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thanks.
Yeah. So like here, so this is Fussy Librarian. And it was a giveaway. and I got 3 units. I got almost 2,000 units downloaded that first day with Fussy Librarian. Fussy Librarian just lets you do 1 day. Many outlets will let you do 2 or 3. Depends on what the setup is. So I did the 1 day is all I get. And then, but I keep the book on promotion for a couple days after I run it with Fussy Librarian. And then I get, you know, woo, another 300 books. It's another 300 books. So it works for me for that kind of coverage. And I experiment with that. This is solely Fussy Librarian and some promos and some social media outreach and my newsletter. I am doing a promotion starting tomorrow for my book again, for After I'm Buried Alive. And I'm doing that just through Fussy Librarian to see what happens. So you can do, it's called A/B testing. So I can do A/B testing. I'm doing, also, I'll let you guys know, I did, these are free here. Let me go to, let me get to all of them, all markets, all titles. So let me just do.
Oh, what a good list.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
So this is, these are my free. Let me see, where's Fussy Librarian? Oh, there you go. I haven't done a darn thing. Buried. Yep. You can see what you can do. Let's start with June. And let's,
you know, what's very frustrating is that we can't see ever how many books we sold. They just show the last 30 days, and then you get it takes 3 months to get your first check, and you can never see how many books you sold.
No, it's always, I always consider it a surprise. It's like performance art. So here's, I did a run with Fussy Librarian, and I got 3 units ordered. That was the Fussy Librarian run for 2,000, and then 219, and then a jump at 290. So I did 4 days. Fussy Librarian was just the 1 day. So that's, you know, it had some legs on it for that giveaway.
Have you noticed that it would be a certain day? Would a certain day be more than, you know, like sometimes if I post on Fridays or Saturdays on Facebook, I mean, is it a certain day? Have you noticed certain days?
I tend to do weekends. I tend to try to think about my own, you know, I'm talking to people like me. So I tend to think of people loading up stuff for the weekends. If you're on BookBub, which is hellishly expensive, you get that every day, so people are just, that's that spontaneous, yes, I will for 99 cents, click, 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 click. So these are my free books. What I'm doing tomorrow, I'm launching a 99-cent promotion with Fussy Librarian, and I want to see how that's different. So up until now, I've been giving away free ebooks. Now I'm going to see if 99 cents makes a difference, either pro or con, and I'll let you guys know. So you can track your promotions. You can definitely track your sales. You can, but as Mila said, you can do the last 90 days. For your sales, just to kind of see where you're going. You do have payments. There's community, but this is the report, your sales dashboard, all marketplaces, all authors. I am all authors, all formats, your book, and then the dates that you want to figure out what happened. Okay. Is there any, and that's essentially it. There's historical. Yeah, there you go, Mila. Go to historical. There's September 2008.
Okay. It's still, you have to count those. They don't really say anywhere that I sold 100 books or 500 books. It just, you have to go, oh, there's 5, 10, 15. You know what I'm saying? Right? Am I wrong? It's very frustrating.
I got it here. Yeah. There's sold.
Oh, there you are.
Ebooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just February though. See, it's not like a whole accounting.
Yeah. No, and then it goes down here to April, May 2014, all the way to September 2008. No one was doing anything September 2008. We were busy crashing. Okay, so that is your direct book sales. You start here. You want to get your everything lined up ahead of time. But that said, when you get, what happens is you put your book in and you think, okay, I'm good. But there's no like woohoo from Kindle. You don't get, it's like, they don't say, congratulations, you did it. They just drift away. And you think, did I publish my book? What happened? You get an email when the book is live. And it's just as random as you can imagine. So like 2 days, 3 days, they'll say, hey, your book is live. Or 3 days later, they say, hey, there was a problem. We're not going to tell you what the problem is. You have to go back in and figure it out yourself. So you go back in and you're like, what did I do? What happened? And that's all you can do is you go back in and you say, what do I do? What happened? Give yourself time for mess ups with any of these processes, as you know. So get get the book lined up, get the cover lined up, and then upload it. Here's the beauty of both formats, both Kindle books and your paperback books. If you have a well-meaning reader who says, oh, I found 3 errors in your book, or something is, wrong. Who has errors in their books? Ah, that's amazing. I've never known anybody to have an error in their book. You can go in and fix it. You can go back in here and upload the content of your books to your heart's content. You just can't change the cover. So be super careful about the cover, but you can upload and say, all right, I'm going to improve this. You can make it another edition. If I think it's a second or third edition, you might be able to change the cover. So consider that, but your first cover will not go away. So if you want to replace the book, I have a couple books that I would really like to see go away. They will not let them go away. So be careful about that too. It's like forever. I'll show you. So these are my recent books. And then here is, these books I had new covers for them. My Real Estate Diva. I had to finagle, get them in their second versions, because the old versions are still around. Let me see if I can show you the old versions. Ooh, look, they're not there. Oh, okay, never mind. I take that back. They actually replaced them. In Goodreads, you can see old versions of books. Goodreads is owned by Amazon. If you want to do a Goodreads, see, that's why you can see nothing says holidays like a dead ex-wife. If you want to do a Goodreads promotion, it's $114 at this point, and it generates interest within the Goodreads community for your book. It's a giveaway, it's a contest. You do not get the emails from people who sign up to get your book. Those are proprietary and they're protected by Amazon and by Goodreads. So I have that question asked a lot, is like, oh, great, 1,000 people signed up for or 100 people, or however many signed up to get my book. Can I get their information? No, you cannot. So weigh that. It's like Goodreads is nice because they'll do a giveaway. I would do it for a month, so you get a lot of coverage for your book. They also, Goodreads will send a reminder, not you, Goodreads will send a reminder after somebody has won one of your books. They'll send a reminder to that person to say, by the way, you won in good faith. I'll remember to leave a review. So they try at least to help authors get our reviews and to go back in and get at least some feedback, at least something, because that's probably the hardest thing we've got going, is trying to get reviews, good or bad, just reviews. So that is another piece of this universe. So you have your Kindle book, you can do Kindle giveaways, and let's talk about ads, because that's what Mila asked. So let me go back to,
I don't want to make a mistake. It just seems like, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. There's not, it's all, there's not a lot of mistakes to this. It's not a bad thing. So let's say I want to do an ad for After I'm Buried Alive. So you hit promote and advertise, because that's what you get to do after you've actually done your book. And then here's your run a promotion and run an ad campaign. You want to choose a marketplace. We want to go and use the US, but that does not mean you don't use other countries. Absolutely not. But for ease, I'm going to give you guys the Amazon.com, and then you do create an ad campaign. So sponsored product, this is going to come up when someone else buys, do you guys all remember when Amazon first came on the scene? And one of the best things about Amazon was what they would recommend. If you liked this book, you're going to love these books. And the system was so wonky that you got some crazy suggestions. It's like, oh, you liked things about, romance, you're going to love the science fair book. It was bad. They're a lot more sophisticated, and there's a lot more ads because people can run ads. So your sponsored products your book is going to come up when someone buys a cozy romance, and I've bought an ad with cozy romance in those tags, those categories, my ad will come up. Okay, so that's what the sponsored products are. The lock screen ads over here are those Kindle ads that we see when we open up our Kindle. So that's what those are. So let's say we want to do, well, Mila, you want to do sponsored product or you want to do lock screen ads?
What do you suggest?
I think you'd have a better reach at this point with the sponsored products.
Good. Okay.
So let's do continue and see what they want. I'm not going to buy an ad for you guys, so but we can walk through this. So you're going to do campaign name.
Where does it run? Like, where does it show up is what I was wondering. Is it worth doing? I mean, does it show up like when people go into Amazon, or, those ads we see sometimes?
Yeah. What they're going to do is they're going to show up. I'll show you. Let's go to Amazon itself. I'm going to go out of this for a second. Go to Amazon. So let's do yours, Cowgirl.
From Cowgirl to Congress, yeah.
Okay. So first of all, you guys can see, this is something I find very interesting.
Also, wait, one more thing while you're there.
Yeah.
I have put up videos of the stories from the book from my YouTube on all of them, so it's cool. Like I put up all kinds of weird videos, and it's fun. Just something you can do with your books.
Okay. Yeah, I've done that too. I put video hoping that will give me something, right?
I don't know.
So you open this up. Here's the thing: you do a search. You don't get just Mila's book anymore.
Right.
We don't just get the title. And in fact, I was doing some searches for, doesn't matter what it was, but it was rather obscure for my research. And I would type in the title of the book, like Cowgirls to Congress, and that's not the first book that came up. I would get a sponsored product first and then have to scroll down for the rest of the product to get to the book that I really wanted.
What if you don't pay too much? Like if you only pay $5, are they still going to give you a place like this to show up? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. It's just interesting. So this is what's gonna trigger. So you do one, and then you get all of these others. So let's say yes, we want this one. Let me move the screen so you can see it. Okay. Now, yay! Here we are. But wait, books you may like.
Yeah.
Those are your sponsored. And they're not necessarily 100% linked. They're not necessarily exactly on here. Splendid and Vile, the Saga of Churchill Family, along with Congress. The only thing they have in common with Mila's book is the letter C.
No, so, Churchill's in my book. That's why.
All right, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, but as a reader, I'm not necessarily going to know that, but that's fine. Sponsored products. There we go. That's what you're buying.
Okay, well, that'd be good if it shows up in those places. I'm just curious how that works,
And then
I'm gonna
editorial
try it.
reviews.
There's my video, one of
There's
them.
video, good, right? There's a cute bio, more sponsored products. So what I would imagine, Mila, is that, see, look at that. We've got, it's an ad dense world. I would imagine that what they do is you've got tiers. So sponsored products related to this item. You've got sponsored product. I mean, you've got 2 tiers of sponsored product. It's kind of like getting something above or below the fold of an old-fashioned newspaper, right? And then you've got books you may like, which I suspect is also sponsored. Because why would you give up, if you're Amazon, why would you give up that kind of real estate? So that's what that advertising can look like.
And how much would you pay to advertise? How much?
I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
That's why I can't answer you on where it shows up. So you do a start and an end date. I would always do an end date because that way Amazon can't bill you in perpetuity. Just FYI. So let's do an end date just to see if we can. So August to February 21. I mean, they really want to give you a run. Isn't that sweet of them? Let's just say we're going to do a short one. Daily budget. If I do $5, that's going to be a lot of money, right?
But if it's over $5, we go through the day. So if you did 7, you'd be better off maybe. I don't know.
I think you're overthinking it. The amount you're willing to spend on this campaign each day. Okay, so you can extend it up if you want to, or if it's not doing you any good, then you might want to increase your daily budget. Automatic targeting or manual targeting, where you can choose your keywords to totally focus what you want to do. Now in Mila's book's case, they've picked up Churchill, so that's why that Churchill book.
They picked up World War II, and they picked up all the history. All those were history in the book. So somehow they got, but they're not my keywords. They're just in the book.
Right, they're just in the book.
Yeah,
yeah, it's getting a. Yeah, I mean, we do our best, but they have the bots trolling for things, and then they literally throw up stuff. So campaign bidding strategy. So you can go up or down in real time, fixed bids, adjust bid by placement. So you can get into the weeds of this. And the only way to know how it's going to work for you with advertising like this is to test it. And so you have to have kind of a gambler's constitution to go in and say, all right, I'm going to spend $100 and we're going to do it this way. And then next month I'm going to spend $100 and we're going to do it the other way and see what we can do. That's one of the challenges, I think, for independent contractors, for independent writers, is that we're not a big organization. We aren't a big publishing house. And so we don't have many people who are monitoring this for us. So when you do ads, you're going to, pick one, and then say, okay, that worked, that didn't work. That's why I'm doing it. I did a giveaway and I did this much. And then I'm going to do a 99-cent discount and I'm going to see what the difference is. Is there a difference?
What do they mean by bid? Is that the right place for me, the bids?
Well, you have to choose one of them.
Okay. All right, got it. I'm
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. And then ad format, custom text ad. So you can do it yourself, standard ad, without custom text. Now you can absolutely put text in and do your ad and make it all fabulous. Here's the thing, if you're not good at it, you are going to spend a lot of time trying to make it good. So I've seen people get really in the weeds with these things. And again, if you want to do a custom ad and do the book, give some more keywords, experiment with it. Run ad A and run ad B. And I do that with Pinterest ads all the time because those are less expensive than a Kindle ad. It's like I ran one for a client. I ran her book cover with a blue background. I did IBM blue, essentially. Blue background, and then I ran ads with the yellow background, and the blue outperformed the yellow by a significant amount. And so I'm like, great, we'll keep running the blue ads. So you can do things like that in other formats, in Pinterest or in Instagram or in even LinkedIn, although I haven't done a lot of LinkedIn ads, and Facebook ads. So that's a whole nother promotional product and promotional, ideas that you can do. Pinterest is doing really well, and it's not as ugly as some of our other competitors right now, like Twitter. Just saying. So here's our product. They showed me the product. Yay. I can do one product. I can do automatic targeting and set bids by targeting group. And then I can do negative keyword targeting. So that's when you do everything but this, and the other thing. And then custom text. And then there's the ad.
Oh, good. They show you. Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Good ad.
And I'm on a 99-cent promotion, so that's why it says 99 cents on that. And then you can save it or you can launch the campaign. So one of the things that you want to pay attention to is this part. How long are you going to do this? What are you trying to measure? What do how much is that book costing you? It's like it's cost me a lot, not a lot of money, but it's cost me money to give away my product. So we want to pay attention to that as writers. There's going to be a degree of that, absolutely, because that's how you promote things. And free is the new black. We get that, but at the same time, you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on discounting your books, etc., because it might end up being, you're spending $100 a book to sell that book, and that is not a sustainable margin. So we want to be careful, because sometimes we lose track of what we're doing. We lose track of what Amazon is doing, and they will cheerfully renew things for you, and suddenly you owe them a whole lot of money and you didn't really realize it. So just want to caution people and not, don't go full bore and say, oh my gosh, we're gonna do ads, and it sounds great, but you do want to be careful about what kinds of ads and just how many you're going to do, and if you can track it. So Amazon is great, Kindle is great. If you want to get into ads a little bit and experiment with them, I would move over and try Facebook ads, and I would also try Pinterest ads and start there. They're a little more fun, they're a little more friendly, and you can again, they will give you your stats, and they're easier to track what's going on. So did that answer some of your questions, Mila, on how to run your ads? Yes.
And I wrote a few notes on to add to what you just said about everything too, for everybody when you guys are ready. Just a couple little notes on tips.
Thanks.
Catherine, I had a quick question for you. When you did your free giveaways, did that garner you more good reviews on Amazon, Goodreads, etc.?
I got a couple, but not a lot. I only have like 8 reviews for that book, and I've been promoting it since March.
We need you guys to review our books, and we'll review your books. That's really how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. And you don't even have to read the book. I'll tell you what to say.
That's right. Or you could just write one sentence. It doesn't have to be this whole long thing. That's what I had to tell all my friends.
Right.
I did 14 reviews, but I really worked on it. I asked people. Some were people I didn't know. So
that's good.
Yeah. But
yeah, I have to do more work with that. It's a tedious. Some of that it can be so damn tedious. Just put it out there.
I have an idea for you and me. I think you and I should put a list together for everyone. Oh, helicopter, fire probably. A list together of the Goodreads, the Gorilla thing, and a lot of ones I've found, and we can put a list together for everyone, maybe. Because
I have massively complicated spreadsheet that I am happy to share with people if they'd like.
I have some to add to it.
Yeah. So if you guys would like it, I can send that out to you. Just let me know if you want to be overwhelmed. Oh, and someone asked me why it's in pounds. I had to go onto Amazon UK to show you the process because I was locked out of my Amazon.com account for that particular book. So that's why.
I
They
have a
just
few.
let you
I have
do.
a few notes. Should I give them really quick, or do you guys have questions? I have a
Do you
couple
have
notes.
more questions? Let's see if we've got questions. Any more questions?
I have a question. I mean, I'm assuming it's kind of like Rachel's question. I'm assuming that the free books that you do are translating into sales, if not reviews. Is that right? I mean, or what's otherwise? What is it for?
What's the point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Free books work when you have, okay, I have two reasons for free books. The first one is to get some attention. So the free book promotion is to get out there and get attention for the book. If I can get a review, that would rock. But I don't have control if I do something through Fussy Librarian or whatever promotion system I want to use. If you have a series, that's when the free book works the best. So when you have, like I have a 5-book series with my real estate mysteries, that I do one free book, that then triggers people saying, oh, there's more of these books. I'm interested in, and BookBug works the same way. I like the free book, I will go purchase the other books. That is the ultimate goal for free books, because I've had clients complain that when they do the free book, it doesn't really work when it's just one book, that it works better when it's a series of books. So when I launch the second book in the Vic Gardner series that I'm working on right now, which is Before the Death of Many Things, when I launch that, I will also make the the first book free to again get, I'll work that back and forth. So I'll do one book free, then I'll do another book free, then I do the first one free. I can go back and forth. Every quarter, one of those books can be free or 99 cents. So that's the other thing. They say that the best way to sell your first book is to write the second one. And I think that's true. You need to have a collection, so to speak, and that's part of what the free book works for. I have another friend who I've worked with, who comments that she does the 99-cent, and that's why I'm experimenting with it, promotion, because then it counts as sales, and then she can pump herself up, like what Nina is doing. She can pump herself up in her category to become a quote bestseller in that category for that time period. So that's another way of maneuvering that and scheduling that.
Okay, thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
can you also quickly, I mean, I might have just missed this, but I totally didn't understand the Fussy Librarian. Where do you get on that? How does that work?
I just happen to have it on my screen because I was just doing it. Let me see if I can sign it. So this is the Fussy Librarian. Okay,
Yeah.
there she is.
But it doesn't have to be connected to Amazon. You're not connecting it to Amazon? Oh, okay. Oh, it's just its own.
You pay a little bit. It's not
Let me see
much.
if I can get in. I've been having some challenges with them. Let me see if I can get in. Yep. Okay. Fussy Librarian. Here's a dashboard. I'm feeling good about myself because I successfully signed in. Yay, Catherine. So what you got is free and bargain books. If you see up here, we've got home. Let me get, where's my cursor? There it is. Free and bargain books, newswire, resources, contact us, etc. So I'm an author. So let's see if I want to submit a new book. I hit submit a new book. And then once you hit submit a new book, you're going to be able to see what's going on. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. No, how come it's not? It says I'm screen sharing. Oh, sorry, you guys. I got a glitch here. There we go. So you hit submit a new book. You give them your details. Again, with Fussy Librarian, I pre-did the synopsis in a Word doc so that if Fussy Librarian is fussy, I don't have to worry about recreating everything. So let's say I do, and wonderful things here. Number of pages, okay? So you need to know your page number. You can find your page numbers when you go, you can just look up your book on Amazon and then put your page numbers down. Now, do you have an audiobook link? Because they're gonna put that in there, and there's your price for your audiobook if you want. Is the book free? Because that's gonna put you in 2 different places. So yes or no puts you into 2 different categories for them. So if it's no, so I'm gonna do my regular price. Just
You get more play if it's free?
It's more expensive, it's free. Free will cost you $40 for your listing, your one-time listing. 99 cents costs me $28.
Yeah,
so,
me too. Yeah, I did it once, yeah.
Yeah. So is the book discounted? Yes. Now, and your sale price, let's say 99 cents. Okay.
But how did you sell them us for free or 99 cents?
I'm doing that experiment right now.
Oh, you don't know, okay.
Yeah, I'm just experimenting with that with them.
Okay.
Then you give them the sales dates. So these are the dates that you put in at Amazon, okay? So keep track of that. So because they want to know what the range is, and they've got bots to find that. So you want to try to be as accurate as possible. So you do the first day of the sale, the last day. Your ASIN number, which is your Amazon Kindle number, because Amazon Kindles don't have ISBNs, they just have their own proprietary numbers. You put that in because that's going to be part of the link for Fussy Librarian. You put in your number, you put your ratings in, you put your cover image, they only accept JPEGs. Then here you go, to answer your question. Your Amazon link, Barnes & Noble link, Apple, Smashwords, Kobo, Goodreads, okay? So you can do all or one or 2 or 3. So Fussy Librarian is cross-platform. Google Play. Now you get to choose your genres, which I recommend, obviously. Look at your options. With these books, what I have found is that your romances, your genre, your mysteries, as your nonfiction are going to be your you can't see it, but there's how-to. Those are going to do well, is what I've noticed. You can do a primary. I did a primary and a secondary, so let me show you what happens. So here is, let's do Mystery Cozy. See, $19. Let me see if it's a how-to book, how much that costs. 17. And then if I do another, oh, that's it. I don't have a secondary genre. Then you schedule the date. You get to check dates for calendars. Somehow, let me do this. It's Zoom. Sorry, Zoom is like keeping me from doing this for you. There we go. Let's do humor. My price went up, okay? Then you do the dates. So check, let's say I want to do it on August 27th. I'm good. Rerun reminders. So after you figure you're doing this every quarter, so you need at least 90 days before Amazon is going to let you do this again. So just put in the 90 days that you want to check in with Amazon so you can help do that. And Fussy Librarian will come back and say, you want to do this again? Did that work? Then you make some notes. You have to tell them your language preference. You have to do violence, mild, extensive. They need to know to categorize it for themselves and for the readers. Sexual violence, animal cruelty, torture. I don't know why anybody would spend that much time in their heads, but okay. And then you submit. And there you go. They send you emails. They say it's in. They send you a notice when the book promotion is running so that you can say, oh, good, it's running, yay. And today when I did my Fussy Librarian thing, they also said, put this out on Facebook. You know, I'm running a promo on Fussy Librarian, click right here. So they're very dialed in, and they have large readership. So let's look at, let me see if they tell you where they're here we go. Here's their Kindle ebooks. This is how you could show up, because they do it by categories, right? So if you know that you're a cozy mystery reader, look how many cozy mysteries there are, right? Erotic romance, nothing better than reading erotic romance on a Kindle, no one knows. Fantasy, you can see what's popular on this. If you do genre, this is awesome. And I've been happy with them. I've been happy with the amount of what I've gotten back. 3,000 downloads is pretty good for one day. And it's $40 for the free. And then, like I said, I'll tell you guys next month how it worked for the 99 cents, because I just am doing that starting today. Okay, anybody else? Did that help to show you what the Fussy Librarian was?
Thank you. I mean, this was like such a great, man, this was just like a great deep dive into the netherworlds of self-publishing.
It's harder than it looks sometimes, but if you just kind of take it and just know that the fun part was writing the book, the rest of this is work.
That's true.
Easier.
You can make a class out of this. You can take the recording and put a class up.
Yeah. I've done a lot of classes in how to do this, and I do it for my clients, because they're like, I just want to write books. I don't want to do this. I get it. I totally get it. That's why I have all these accounts, because I go in and I do it for my clients. But it can be done, you guys. If you just divide it out, just kind of get in the zone, say, okay, I'm going to do this. It'll be okay. Nothing's forever. If you mess up, you can go back and do it again. It's not, you don't get worked up about it. I've had, when I was doing my workbook, here's a little tip, for a hardcover workbook, for an actual workbook, if you are doing perfect binding and you have the title workbook in any piece of what you put into Kindle, they will kick it right back, because it doesn't have the binding that they attach to workbook. And you don't want to do ring binding, because those are expensive workbooks. Now you're talking $30, and I didn't want to do that. But I had to go back and redo that and upload that book 5 times until I figured out what was triggering those bots in that workbook place. So now I think I have it. I'll show you. I think I've got it called like the companion book or something silly like that. Because I couldn't call it a workbook. They were just, the little bots were just scurrying around, having a terrible, terrible time with the whole thing. So just FYI, don't use the word workbook. Yeah. So
something I found out is that my friend helped me with my book. So get help with your cover, because the cover sucks. The other thing is, call KDP. They call you back within 5 minutes, and they'll help you with everything, and they'll explain every little detail to you. They're very good about that. Nobody else is. Zoom, Teachable, nobody will call you back, but KDP will. That's the two big
Catherine, while you're pulling this up, the other Catherine spelled with a K had a question.
yeah.
Yes, thank you. I have 2 questions. First of all, you seem to link the Fussy Librarian with Amazon. Are they totally connected?
No, not at all.
But you talked about the number of time, the amount of time on Amazon applies to what you're doing with Amazon. I mean, I'm sorry. You said like if you're doing 90 days on Amazon that you have to match that up?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Because why?
Because Amazon
So that's how the book is free or priced. You have to manage it through Amazon, and then all Fussy Librarian does, or any of these, Book Gorilla, whomever, they are accessing. They're saying, "Oh, good, your book is free," and they're linking right back to Amazon. So that's
okay.
But if you had it free on Nook, they would do the same for you.
Okay, same with Nook. Okay, and then the other question I had is that when you pulled up the categories for Fussy Librarian, I did not see Christian, and yet when it combined the two, I saw Christian. Did you know what I'm saying? Because that would be my audience, but it wasn't a category on there in the beginning.
Yeah, you have to just pull. So you're pulling down fiction first.
Oh, fiction first. Oh,
And
what
then,
if it's not
and
fiction?
then you're subcategorizing it.
What if it's not fiction?
Nonfiction.
Yeah,
Non-fiction
nonfiction Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You'd have
I mean,
to.
there are,
You'd have to experiment with that. I don't have those memorized, but you'd have,
okay, but I was going, okay, I noticed that it didn't say Christian, which it did at Amazon. But then when you pulled up and it showed comparisons, it had Christian in there.
Yeah, if you were going to do nonfiction Christian, I would start with nonfiction inspirational and see where you.
Okay.
Because that's
Excellent. I didn't see that on there.
That's
Thank you. Nonfiction
inspirational
inspiration.
code for Christian.
Thank you. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. This was amazing. This is my first time even thinking about this. So
I hope I
That's it.
overwhelmed you completely. Go back to just writing and having a good time.
let's see. I did 5 pages of typing.
Wow. That's incredible. Well, yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Catherine and Mila, both for being our fearless leaders this week. And we do have to wrap it up. We only have about 5 more minutes left, although I'll leave the meetup open for a little bit after in case people have more questions. But I did want to ask, is there anybody who would like to lead next month's meetup? And I guess it'll be September. Oh, where'd the summer go? And
Oh, wow.
for the folks, if you have anything you'd like to present on, it could be we've done social media, we've done different writing platforms, and online critique groups. If anyone would like to present, please let me know. Or if you'd like, let me know what you'd be interested in seeing or having us do. If you don't want to present, I understand. But if you have like a burning interest, if you want to do more publishing type things, or you want to learn about social media, we could do podcasting. What are you guys interested in?
Good question.
The podcasting sounds interesting. And the other thing I was thinking that I have no expertise in, but I know if I don't think she'd need to be paid, but Julie Valin, who does the covers, just talking about covers and how to do that.
She did my cover.
Yeah, and so she'd probably be happy to come talk to us if she's available.
Yeah, like down and dirty covers, or how to hire the right person. I mean,
Yeah, that would be good.
yeah, because a lot of us are not. I'm not a graphic designer, and that's been pointed out numerous times.
One thing to mention is make sure you go on Fiverr, Fiverr, because those people will make your covers. And what I've done before is just hire 2 or 3 of them for $45 each. Who cares? And then pick the one you like.
Oh.
And they'll go back and do it, and they'll do your cover. They'll put it on KDP. They'll edit. I mean, and they do it so cheap. You can get things done for like $5 to $100. Everything,
Wow.
everything you want done. I use those.
Anybody else have any topic or speaker suggestions for future meetups?
Get Julie Valin.
Yeah, I'll reach out to her. We're friends. Okay.
People are really interested in a podcast one, I could do that. I've started a podcast about a year ago.
Oh, yeah?
It would probably be more on the technical side than the marketing side, but
I think technical would be helpful.
I need nuts and bolts. Nuts and bolts is what I want on everything. That'd be great.
That would be fabulous.
Yeah.
okay.
Can we do that in September so we can get going on it?
Yeah.
Tell me what?
Can you do it September?
Is that the next one? I guess it would be, huh? This is August.
I know it's not insane.
Yeah, I could actually. What would be the date for that?
Oh, let's see. What's the first Thursday in September?
September 3rd.
There you go.
Ooh, that's less than a month. I could do it. Yeah, that's fair enough. I could. I would probably cover the audio editing programs I use, where I host them,
Yeah.
put them up on my website.
Mike's.
And the one I do is an interview style, so it's all done virtually.
Yeah.
So it's 2 people, and I could cover microphones and what I do with them afterwards. Like I'm probably going to start converting them to videos too, even though they're actually audio only videos or audio only podcasts at this point. But there are ways to convert them. Programs I like. Sure, I'm game.
Oh, that would be fabulous, man. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I have an announcement, and I'll send you something on it, Rachel. But the Arts Council, I'm on the Arts Council Literary Committee, and we are putting together Wild Writing Wednesdays. It's on the first Wednesday of the month because I didn't want to interfere with our meetup. I was conscious of everybody's meetups, and it's from 4:30. It's 4:30 to 6:30, and it's more inspiration with prompts. Sands Halls and I are doing it together, and if we have less than 8 people, we'll do them at our home in real life, and if we have more than 8 people, we'll move it to Zoom. And so we're going to do once a month. We're inviting young kids. We're inviting everybody who just wants to kind of get inspired and writing. So it's based on the Natalie Goldberg 10-minute write. That kind of idea. So we're launching that September 2nd. So I want to get that out there, and I'll send you guys a little flyer.
Send us all the things.
Another thing too, do any of you go to Shut Up and Write or participate in that?
I'm sorry?
I have friends who do Shut Up and Write. Yeah.
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 I could talk about that also. I started 3 in Nevada City, and then I've started 3 up here in Mount Shasta, and
Oh, good.
started 1 in Auburn, and there's also, I've started some called Zip It and Write for the Virtual Travel Writers Group on Facebook. But basically, you just get together virtually, and then you write for 2 hours.
Nice.
Right. This is a little more organized. We're writing for 10-minute increments, and then we're going to share. So it's got a spin on it, and we're starting it out, and we'll see what the system is and what people want, and then we'll modify it from there. Wine will be involved depending on if we have a lot. If we have a lot of kids around, we won't do that. But Sam's was very clear. That's what we're going to do.
I'm sorry, I missed the date on that and what you're calling it, Catherine.
It's Wild Writing Wednesdays, and it's on. It's September 2nd and October 7th is when we're start. It's the start times, and then we'll go from there.
And I'll put out an email at the end to say thank you to everybody, so you can do a reply all to that. And,
Yeah,
That'd be great.
Awesome.
yeah, that's great. And would anybody like to suggest any other topics or speakers that I could reach out to? I was thinking, like, if we're on a publishing kick, I could investigate my friends who have published in various and sundry.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just wanted to see if there was interest before I started.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was thinking
All
like,
the publishing we can get. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Traditional publishing.
I'm looking forward to the
Absolutely.
podcast when though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wanted to ask you guys: are you interested at all in publishing poetry, or are we just mostly fiction oriented?
I would love something on poetry.
I would too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I can ask around poetry and fiction.
Yeah, that might be an interesting blend too, like how to use poetry to improve your writing, because
Oh,
writing
yeah.
poetry is so tight, right? Like
Mm.
it makes
Yeah.
regular writing look like sloppy seconds.
Twitter improves your writing because you have to do the economy of words.
Yeah,
Yes.
like getting to the essence, what really matters.
I know.
Amen. And sometimes making it rhyme.
Yeah, that too, right?
That's tricky.
Nice.
Bob Dylan didn't need that.
No. We love
Well,
Bob.
thank you, Doug, for volunteering for next month. That's going to be a real treat, and
That's awesome.
I'll try and poke around for some speakers. And we're a little bit over time, but does anybody have any final questions of our hostesses?
I would just say thanks.
Yeah, thank you. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Awesome.
Thank you. Good. Good. Happy to do it. It's fun. It's a good group.
Yeah.
It's all published. Everybody think about something to publish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, you know, she has a lot and I have a lot, and go for it.
There
You
go.
guys are very inspiring. Thank you so much. Seriously, really, really helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good.
Makes me want to dig in and try to help myself do this instead of just helping everybody else. Actually, just try to
Do it yourself.
buckle down and work, you know, and make it something that's could maybe affect other people, because writing does that. It's
Mhm.
very powerful.
True.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Rachel, for pulling this together, girl.
Thank you, Rachel.
Oh, I just hang out and
Great.
it's all good. Yeah.
And all your great questions, Mila.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
more
I love to
Works.
pick people's brains, but I'm also teaching, in September, I'll be teaching writing the short book again, which I've been really successful with. Writing your little short book, you don't have to write the big book. And so, and I'd like to give everyone that permission. The shortest book you can write on Amazon is 32 pages. So you could write that in a day, but if you're going to do more, then it just gets you a good start. So that's
Well,
a
are we gonna know how to
Yeah.
learn from you about that too?
Yeah, I'll post that. That's coming up in September, and I had so much fun teaching that last time. I had half Zoom people, half real people, and we social distance, and everybody had masks, and it was really successful. Everybody got a really good start on the book. Nobody wanted a 32-page book, so they were going more for 100. Because if you do 99 pages, you can have a spine with a title on it.
That's
I think
what
that's
I
what we're
100
looking
pages.
at. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Oh.
You don't have to write the long book. That's what happened to me. Was I thought, oh, all my books need to be long. And when I found that out, I'm like, I'm whipping those puppies out right now.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
me-
awesome.
I'll post the recording once it's done doing its magical thing on my computer. But yeah, definitely reply all with your class dates and stuff too. Let us know.
Yeah, please.
Well, I'm putting that together for you guys right now.
Awesome. Awesome.
Great.
All right.
Excellent.
Well, I'm gonna.
Thank
sign
you.
off here.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
everybody. Thank you so much.
Everybody, this was really great. Good to
It
see
Thank
was.
you guys.
Thank you all.
you next month.
Thanks, Kath.
Thanks, guys.